Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is our Porsche 2002 Boxster. I'm going to start, I've already did the top side. It's in a previous video, you can look that up. How to get to the engine part and everything. We've got spark plug tubes, and what it is, it's vapor leaks related stuff. I'll show you what this is. For instance, this here is a spark plug tube. They got two new O-rings that come with it. We'll be installing them. We'll look at the clutch. On this one, odds are we're going to need to put a clutch in this thing. We've got a seal leaking in it, so we're going to have to do some cleaning up. There's a whole lot of stuff underneath of here that I'm fixing to undo. Brackets, shields, all that good stuff. We'll get started on undoing some of this. It's pretty straightforward. Really, there's no need in going into a big ordeal with it. But in a nutshell, we're going to yank the transmission out of this vehicle, get the oil leak fixed and all that good stuff. The customer wants all that fixed. We're going to try to dress it a little bit and go from there. So let me start by loosening up some stuff and get it off of there and see where this video is going to go. I'm going to fold that camera up a little bit. We'll see how that's oil covered. All right, how. Let me get a light. So the transmission up here, I mean, soaked in oil. I did show that in a previous video. Lots and lots of oil. Right there is your drain holes if it's ever leaking, and that's showing lots of oil. So far I've done, get you back up, I've done these nuts right here. One little problem I do have is that my lifting points over here got one of the nuts, the spaces for the nut taken up. So we need to investigate how we're going to handle that part of it. Anyway, moving on. Exhaust bolts, they came off really nice. I got the piece of sheet metal off. Here's one thing that I've noticed. Right there on the frame, right there on the transmission cover, on the transmission housing, not cover, there is grease. That right there is CV axle grease. So we'll have to figure out why we got axle grease slinging up here. You know, that's one of the things we're gonna figure out. She's pretty nasty on this side, so we'll have to give the customer a call by the time it's all said and done and tell him what all we do have to fix. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't tell you this, no pun intended here at all, but this has got to be the easiest exhaust I have ever taken off of a vehicle. The bolts came, the nuts loosened right up, the bolt came right out. It's got two nuts on the bottom. Of course, we're taking our exhaust out of the way. I should have said that. Two nuts on the bottom, 13 millimeter, a 13 millimeter headed bolt on top, and you got these band connectors over here on both sides, and everything has come apart, I mean, like a dream. When you slide in your clamps, slide them toward the cans. A couple more straps up here, well, not straps, but hanger bolts, I guess, and hopefully they don't make a liar out of me. That's in essence how every single bolt on the exhaust was. Truth to be known, I have no clue what I got to do here to get that out. I don't want to force it too much. I'm assuming we can do this and get the cans out of here. I'm going to put this one on that side and the other one on the other side. Would you know? And there is a frame that I unbolted. This one right here, I've already unbolted it, just had one long bolt in it. And these two bolts are these bolts right here, and I'm going to keep them with it. When I lay this down, I'm going to keep that with it. That way that don't get, no question how it goes back. Same on the other side. I know, kind of a little bit redundant. Whoa! I'll put this one on this side. I mean, that makes this area here really free and clear. We got our shift cables. We'll have to be very careful with that. We can unbuckle these CV axles. Those, I believe, are an Allen. Couldn't tell it. They're so dirty. Ain't no way to tell what it actually is. I'm going to pause you up for just a second, turn the camera back on. I opt to use pipe wrench. You're not hurting this at all. It's a 6mm, by the way. If I'd have been a guessing man, I would have guessed at 6, but I didn't want to say it and then, well, be wrong. Considering that I'm going to have the transmission out of this vehicle anyway, there is a real good possibility that I'm going to go ahead and pull the whole axle out of here and get that thing cleaned up. I don't like how dirty it is. You can't really see if there's any leaks, so I may opt to just go ahead and remove this whole entire axle out of here, or CV axle to be more correct about it. We'll do the same thing, of course, on the other side. So that's basically in a nutshell how easy that is. Bring it off to the side, make the distance shorter, and we will remove the whole entire thing and get it cleaned up. I'm fairly certain that's what's going to happen. Pause you back up and move to the other side. I did jump ahead a little bit, so I'm going to see if I can get the camera in here. Oh yeah, right there, ladies and gentlemen. Well, you can't see the other, well, you might see it, I don't know. The can will have to come out as well. You can work around them, I believe, but you know me. I just don't like stuff in my way. I'll go ahead and take it out. Dang it, now I'm going to have to admit that I made a mistake. The bolts are up here. These are the ones you take off. Whoops. Yep, I told you wrong. Sue me. How dare I tell you wrong? There should be one on the other side. I think there is. I heard it. Don't let go of it. I think the fart can is about to come out. Okay, use caution. Wow, that bolt is a little bit longer than what I expected. Kind of kicked that around. I'm gonna have to get you out of the way before I knock the camera off or over again, like I tend to do. I'm gonna fight with this a little bit. Yeah, I said it. I'm gonna fight with that a little bit and see if I can't get that out of there. The bolts are a little bit long that are on the back of the bracket. You'll see what I'm talking about. So since I've undone it, I can't really show you, but there was this bracket over here. I kind of try to twist and pull a little bit, and I really don't feel like messing anything up in the back, so I went ahead and reached in here with a 13mm socket and ratchet, just undid these bolts and ended up pulling them out, moved that little triangular piece out of the way. It's this piece right here, moved out of the way, and then I was able to drop the passenger side out first, and then it was piece of cake after that. Not that big of a deal. It is what it is, you know, it is out. That's what we're after, and what we got. So, pause you back up. I don't know what else I'm gonna do right this minute over here. I'm gonna, not just you, also for the sake of the customer, give you a little bit more of a close-up on the nastiness, I should say. Right at the moment, I do not want to pull the gear oil out of it. I'm gonna wait to make sure that I can get what goes in it, but I'm gonna go ahead and give that a nice cleaning up. I kind of like this car, so I'll do a little bit something extra on it. Alright, there's this bottom bolt right here. Alright, I got the camera angled in there so you can see that. Now, pay mind to that bolt. That bolt is different. Well, that is going to be, let me move you back out so I can see. It's going to be a triple square. They make a tool for it. I don't have the tool. However, this is just a socket. It's a triple square socket. What I do is take a 10 mil, because this is 10mm. I do believe it is. Yes, 10mm triple square. And I take a 10mm wrench and set it on there like this, and off she comes. And then we should be able to turn it out perfectly fine. The other bolts around the bell housing, they're 16mm headed, and there too we got bolts missing, ironically enough. Anyway, I have to do a little bit of research on that one. That bolt right there is loose now, and I tracked it loose. So next thing is to turn it all the way out. I'm not going to leave the camera on for that. I did remove my What? You opened the door again, didn't you? Sorry. My dog likes to open the door. I did remove hydraulic line for your knockout cylinder, and you got to plug it. I plugged it. Plugs I mentioned in previous videos. I'm not going to mention that again. Same thing. So I did that, unsnapped the shift linkages, just pop them up and they come off, and that's as far as I got. Oops. I'm probably going to look this one up in service information, because I honestly don't know what to make of all this. There is a couple of bolts missing, but that's neither here nor there. My point is, this bolt on the side, this one, there's one on top. Note that the one on top is longer than the one on the side. Now let's compare it to the other side. There's two of them on this side. So these are the same length. Well, this one is the same length as that one. There's one up high. Again, same length. The one with the washer sits up here, and it's got a bigger hole that it's sitting in. It's a bigger bore. So the one on the very top, this one, sorry about that, that's the shortest one. So there should be another one of them on top, but there is not. yeah. Anyway, this is just for reference, so we know approximately what's going on. 115mm nut on the back side of the transmission. My poor old transmission jack has seen better days. Make sure that we got it, got everything unhooked, which everything is unhooked, but walk around one more time. This is the line right here. Don't have to worry about adjusting your angles too much when you're going out, but you will when you're going back in. I did make one mistake. I should have turned the vehicle around to get closer to the toolbox. And here you can see how nasty this thing really is. I mean, she is nasty. We are definitely going to have to give that a good cleaner. Oh, it does go faster, by the way. And she's a leaker, no doubt about that. No doubt about that. Well, it's getting late. Got the washer going. So that's, in a nutshell, how you get it out. Now, of course, they recommend you have a hanger to hold the engine in place. That's what that little unit right there is. That's a hanger to hang the engine on. I got jack stands. For whatever reason, manufacturers don't really sanction the use of jack stands like that. Probably something to do with using jack stands on a lift. I mean, if you're not smart enough to know how to use them, you can actually throw a vehicle off the lift. But I'll leave it at that. So there you go, there you have it. And this is going to be part one. We want to knock it off for the night. I'm for real fixing to end the video with this right here. So remember all the grease on the CV axles. This here was covered with grease as well. Still got some spots on it, you know, but I'm not going to wash it for years. Those were all greased up. And last but not least, I didn't have no choice but to do it. This thing was so bad, give it a second for the smoke to clear. This thing was so bad, I just had to do something. I couldn't have cleaned it by hand. There was no way I'll ever want to get that thing cleaned by hand. But anyway, I'm going to end the video right here, guys. Going to get one more thing in here before I shut the camera off. All through here, that's grease from the CV axles. And that over here on this side is really bad. I done wiped a lot of the frame over here. I done wiped a lot of that, but up there on the I mean, that right there speaks for itself. It's terrible. We're gonna get one more can of the engine degreaser. I'll pick that up, and we'll see if we can get a little bit more of it cleaned up. It's up here as well. That's just CV axle grease. The color kind of gives it away. Anyway, now I'm gonna for real pause this camera up or end this video and make this a part one, and we'll go from there.